Imagine a simple workplace bonus system that accidentally engineers the murder of thousands. Sounds impossible, right? Well, today we are performing an autopsy on a real public policy, Colombia's false positive scandal. It's a grim story, but honestly, it is a completely devastating dataset. It proves just how easily human behavior can be engineered for the absolute worst. We're going to dig into the data and uncover the precise mechanics of a catastrophic institutional failure.
Let me ask you a question. Do bonuses actually improve efficiency? Common sense screams yes. We all inherently believe that paying for performance makes workers better. I mean, it's literally a foundational rule of modern management. But today, we are going to completely shatter that premise. Because sometimes tying money directly to output doesn't create efficiency at all. It creates a complete systemic disaster.
5,000. That is the number. In Colombia, a seemingly standard performance-based bonus policy resulted in the murder of up to 5,000 innocent civilians. The larger the financial reward became, the higher the body count rose. And listen, this isn't some theoretical academic model. It is a documented historical tragedy, and it was driven entirely by flawed performance metrics.
Part 1. Fatal rewards. Let's look at how this started.
Back in 2002, the Colombian military was desperate to crush left-wing guerrillas. To do this, they rolled out Secret Army Directive 29. It offered essentially limitless financial rewards for dead rebels. But here is the fatal flaw right in the system design. There was absolutely zero independent oversight, none. The policy removed all institutional friction. Human lives were literally reduced to a simple KPI on a spreadsheet.
And the rewards? They were highly structured and meticulously documented. Cash bonuses, medals of honor, extra food and beer, vacation days, fast-tracked promotions. The data here shows us a chilling reality about human incentives. Soldiers were systematically trading innocent human lives for a few extra days off at the beach. It is the darkest possible outcome of performance management applied without any safeguards.
Part 2. What are false positives?
This twisted incentive structure birthed a very specific, dark military euphemism, false positives. The military wasn't actually neutralizing enemy combatants. They were actively hunting the innocent. Civilians were abducted, murdered, and then falsely presented by the army as guerrillas killed in action. Sure, the metrics went up, but the data was completely fraudulent.
It turned into a highly systematic assembly line. Step 1, extreme pressure from the top demands higher body counts. You got to hit your numbers. Step 2, soldiers abduct marginalized, vulnerable civilians, people who wouldn't be missed. Step 3, they execute them and literally stage the crime scene with unfired weapons to mimic combat. Finally, step 4, they claim the rewards. The system wasn't broken, you guys. It was functioning exactly as the financial incentives dictated.
Part 3. The economics of killing.
To understand exactly why this happened, researchers look at something called the multitasking model. Just imagine a soldier has two choices. Choice A is to fight real armed rebels. This is high risk, and it's really hard. Choice B is to execute unarmed civilians. This is low risk and incredibly easy. When the government only measures success by total body count, soldiers will naturally choose the path of least resistance. Bad effort completely replaces good effort.
Now, this data is a real slap in the face. It reveals a horrific divergence. As the false positive executions skyrocketed, the number of real combat kills completely plummeted. The Army's actual fighting capacity collapsed under the weight of fake metrics. The financial rewards didn't bring military victory. They didn't bring any strategic advantage. They only incentivized mass murder and total operational failure.
Part 4. Who exploits loopholes?
So researchers wanted to know, why did this happen in some brigades and not others? Well, the data isolated a specific variable, military rank. Brigades led by colonels had drastically higher false positive rates than those led by generals. Why? Because the leap from colonel to general is an extreme career bottleneck. They faced massive competition. They needed a massive KPI body count to secure that rare promotion. The promotion system essentially turned them into exploiters. One commander stated it with chilling clarity. Each company commander is responsible of one combat death per month. War is measured with liters of blood. That is psychological torture applied directly from the top down. Perform or your career is over. In this culture, failing to kill may do a professional failure. The data completely reflects a toxic environment where extreme pressure neutralized any operational restraint.
Part 5. Collapsed defenses. So you might be wondering, why didn't the courts stop this? Well, the data provides a staggering answer. The impunity rate was 98.5%. The vast majority of these cases went entirely unpunished. The soldiers knew they could literally get away with murder. The legal guardrails meant to protect citizens just completely evaporated in the face of the military's financial and professional incentives.
The policy didn't just bypass the justice system, it actively destroyed it. To protect their bonuses, military commanders formed internal mafias. They systematically intimidated local judges, they murdered potential witnesses, they corrupted the local police forces, they dismantled the exact institutions designed to hold them accountable. And why? All to protect their performance metrics.
Part 6. The Cost of Incentives.
Now, don't think this is just a localized military anomaly. It's not. Researchers see the exact same data patterns everywhere. In Vietnam, tying leave time to body counts led to civilian deaths. In the Philippines, cash for drug executions led to cash for murder. Even in corporate America, look at Sears Auto. Paying mechanics based on repairs led to massive unnecessary billing. High-powered incentives without strong institutional checks absolutely guarantee a catastrophe.
Ultimately, 5,000 lives were sacrificed just to manipulate a performance metric. But here is the final bitter irony. Did the strategy even work? Did the country actually get safer? No. The data shows that despite the immense bloodshed, the actual guerrilla and paramilitary attacks persisted. Violence did not decrease. The state funded its own strategic bankruptcy. They were literally paying for outcomes that undermined their core mission.
Economist Canis Prendergast identified a rule that could have prevented all of this. Never offer pay for performance in circumstances where a person both diagnoses and cures the problem. Think about it. The military was allowed to decide who was a rebel and then got paid for killing that rebel. When the same entity acts as both the judge and the executioner, systemic failure isn't just a risk, it is inevitable.
So the next time you're sitting in a meeting and look at a perfectly upward trending performance chart, take a much closer look. If metrics can be manipulated, who is really paying the price for your perfect KPIs? Ask yourself, what exactly is the data hiding?